Hey, cool, peace, lovely to see you. Game Sparks here. It's Monday, so it's Monday report time. So this is the time when I come on and I tell you what it's like to be an independent musician. Let you into my week that has passed and the week that is coming ahead. Just to let you know what it's like to be an independent musician and how I do things. Hopefully you'll find it interesting. If you do, please give us a thumbs up on this video. That helps me get to other people. Please subscribe and hit that bell, and you'll get to know when there's new videos coming for you. Okay, so let's get with it. Okay, so last week was again massively impacted by homeschooling. I'm a musician, but I'm a proud dad first and foremost. So homeschool was in session. So my studio here, the Westshire studio, is basically a classroom in the day, which is fine, which is great, but it really massively impacts on what I can do. So that was going on. This week's half term, which is great, but that's a different set of circumstances in what we're going through now. But we're all in the same boat. Not complaining. So that's going to be interesting. But anyway, last week, homeschool, and it was sort of getting to me last week, and I sort of had a bit of a big down, a big feeling like overwhelmed, and things just aren't going the way I want them to. I've got this list of things that I want to do this year, and I've done maybe that much, and I'm just not getting anywhere. And it was like, oh. So I pulled myself together, and I did a massive job of reorganising myself and looking at what I want to do, prioritising, and getting to a place where I've got a plan. Now, whether that plan works, I don't know, but it's always good to have a plan to start with. So I went through, reprioritised things, tried to get my head back in a space that was a good place to be. One of the big things that came out of my reorganisation was that I wasn't getting enough time to do music, and I found throughout my life, if I don't do music, if music is not involved in my life, if I'm not actively playing or writing or mixing or mastering or listening or doing something, my mood does go down. So I found when I was doing that self-analysis and that studio and business analysis, that I needed to get more time in the studio. Difficult with homeschool, I know, but I had to find a way. So I pushed myself to do that, and fantastic. I managed to get 2 new songs written, started to do some collaboration work with some other artists that I know, which is great. Started to organise another couple of collaborations that I'm doing. I started to remix and remaster the Speechless EP. It'll be up here. That was from 2018. That it was part of my processes from last year that I wanted to remix and re-release my old remix, remaster and re-release my old catalogue. So Unfinished Business, As I Go When It Takes album, and now I'm on to the last one, which is a Speechless EP, which is an instrumental EP that I did in 2018, which I really like the music from. Oh, one more thing I did last week, it was that busy, you see, I've got too much going on, was to schedule the digital release for the Unfinished Business album that has just been remixed and remastered. So I used DistroKid as my distributor, which is great. I've worked with them for a number of years now. I think they're fantastic, really great company. Help independent musicians massively with the tools that they use and how they make it so easy to distribute music now. So scheduled all that for digital release on Spotify, Deezer, Amazon, iTunes, all that. That was a lot of work. Busy week last week. Got my head back in the right space, and I think doing that busy work made my head come back in the right space as well. So it's important. Okay, so next week this week coming up. It's going to be another busy week. I'm going to try and keep that momentum that I got going last week. I'm going to try and keep that going. It's half term, so I've got the studio back in the day, which is great. Trying to get as much work done this week as I possibly can, so I can actually feel that I'm moving forward. So there's going to be lots of work on Patreon, on videos and behind the scenes stuff, lots of work on YouTube videos. Then in the studio for music wise, I've got songs to demo, new songs to demo, and get them properly organised and sorted. So they'll be on my Patreon crew as well, as ever. Songs go on there straight off for my super duper patrons. If you'd like to jump on with us, the link is down there. Have a look. I've got more songs to write and to get moving closer to my goal of getting a proper album out this year. I've got more work to do on some collaborations that I'm working on. There'll be some Zoom calls and conferences going on with some other collaborations that I'm doing over the next couple of weeks, which would be great. It's all great work in the studio, love it. Best job I've ever had. Also, there's going to be the remix and the remaster of the Speechless EP that I spoke about before. Patrons, keep an eye on there on Patreon, because I'm going to be putting some behind the scenes mixing and how things are going on with that EP. So that'd be good fun. Lots and lots of work going on, and lots of extras going on in Patreon. Also, next week, this week, I keep on saying next week, don't I? Also, this week, I want to get into Amplitude and learn it. At this minute in time, I'm just plugging it in and playing. But I want to understand it more. I want to go deep. I want to get a real good understanding of the application and how it works to help myself in the studio for recording, because that's one of my main recording pieces of equipment now for amplifiers, for guitars. It really is that good. My AC30s and Tweed Deluxe and Tweed Champs and stuff like that, I love them to bits, but just going in the box, they sound amazing. So I want to get a little bit more in depth with that. I also want to be looking at, I've got my old, I say old, I haven't seen it for a while, my old live rig, my pedal board. I've got to do some work on my pedal board. One, for in the studio, because I always like to have that going. But two, when I start going live again on YouTube, I want to be doing not just acoustic stuff, I want to be doing electric stuff as well. I want to mix it up, and I'm working behind the scenes, doing a lot of work and a lot of practice on how I can get that to translate over onto YouTube or onto streaming services. And I like to have, I've got different stuff in the studio that I can use and that, but I'm an old school type of musician, type of player, that I like to be, I know what I'm doing, then something triggers something else, and then I hit that pedal, or I'm bringing in a phaser, or I'm going to take the volume down, I'll roll that on the guitar. But if I want to bring in a boost for a solo or stuff like that, or I'm bringing in a bit of chorus on this part of the song, or a delay or something, I like to have that out on a board. I'm sort of a visual type of person, visual kinesthetic, and I've always found that the best way for me to work. So I'm looking at getting my board, my pedal board sorted as well, which is good. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good. It's nice to mess around. I can be a geek. Oh yes, I can be a geek. But I like to get I'm an engineer by trade, but also by mind, and I just like to get things to work. So it's going to be a busy week, but fantastic, great. It's good to be busy. And as I said before, I want to keep that momentum going, so my head keeps focused and keeps, we're moving, we're getting somewhere. But that's cool. All right. Okay, cool. So that was Monday Report. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something from it. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up, because that helps me to get to other people and let other people see this video. Subscribe and hit that bell. Ka-ching! And that'll let you know when there's other videos from my channel that you can come and watch. Thanks for being here. Have a great week. Stay safe, and I'll see you again next week for another Monday Report. Cool. Let's get in the studio and work. Peace. See you soon.